or whatnot. And the correlation between our thoughts and if we're so focused on the past, we have anxiety raising or whatever. What are like some tools, like if somebody is like in a high anxiety state,
Yeah.
and they're thinking about all these things they have to do, like maybe they can't get outside to go for a walk, like what is something a person can do when they're feeling the pressures of life in that moment? Like what can they do, like a moment of gratitude, like breathing, like what are your thoughts?
You know, this is a very good question, where lots of the people get stuck into the thought of anxiety, worry, and they cannot be grateful. They cannot celebrate this present moment awareness. So
Yes.
the first process, like we have to do the breathing meditation, Why? Because breath is a life force energy. Breath can help us to live into the present moment awareness.
Yeah.
Breath can help us to let go and disconnect with the thought of the past or the future. So how we have to do, we have to close our eyes, and bring the awareness of the breath at the top of the nostril while breathing, while breathe out,
Yeah.
because when we are getting the thought of anxiety, the thought of worry, we are focus, attention and energy to the useless and unwanted thought of anxiety. So why can't we replace with the positive and beautiful and awesome thoughts in the form of breath, as I said,
Yeah.
why, or I can say, why can't we connect with the breath instead of the thought? This is the best way. So when we are getting the thought of anxiety, thought of worry, we have to focus on the breath. As I said, how we have to focus, we have to consider at the top of the nostril is the object of meditation practice. So
Mhm.
when we give attention and energy to the breath, what will happen? We are getting disconnected from the useless and unwanted thought of the anxiety, because breath is a life force energy. Breath can help us into the present, to live into the present moment awareness, and breath
Yeah.
can easily let go of all kinds of the thought of the past or the future. Another process to live into the present moment awareness, we have to celebrate, with this present moment awareness. Lots of the time, the why we are going into the thought of the past in the form of anxiety, because we are struggling with the thought, with our mind, with the ego, because the property of the mind is to connect and live into the thought of the past or the future. So we have to dissolve our mind, we have to dissolve our ego. And how we can do it, we have to connect with our own heart. Heart means we have to create a thought of love, forgiveness, kindness, compassion, gratitude. And we don't have to juggle or struggle or fight with any kind of the thought of the past or the future. And how we have to celebrate this present moment awareness.
Mhm.
And how can we celebrate this present moment awareness? We need to be grateful for whatsoever things are available, by appreciating. As I said, there is a house, there is a car, whatever things. We should focus, we should be aware, with
Yeah.
happiness, with joy, with love. And then what will happen? Automatically, we are disconnecting from the thought of anxiety. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And actually, in your book that I was reading, and from our conversations and the other videos that we've talked about, and we've talked about gratitude and breathing. And I think that was really powerful. And I just want, I guess, share now with you that I utilize that with my children as well. And I use it like if I find myself in a high stress state, if I stop and focus on my breathing, I can't be focused on my breathing and stressed out at the same time in whatever thought it is.
Yeah.
So it actually really does work. It breaks that pattern. So
Yeah.
I'm able to reset in that moment. So thank you so much for that.